Good morning. It is 10:15 on a beautiful Tuesday. I've been in the office for many hours and I am tired of it. So I'm using you guys as an excuse to go follow Carol around and be outside a little more. I am having to chase the guy down. He took off windrowing, so headed up to a farm around the corner to see what he's doing. My guess is he's going to be doing the sweet black-eyed Susan because that's getting finished. Sweet black-eyed Susan, really similar to black-eyed Susan, but taller. Besides that, there's not a lot of differences. I mean, the flower size is a little different, but again, the main thing, if you're looking at it from afar, is it's just a taller species. Here we are. I know you probably can't see the sweet black-eyed Susan too well because it's all brown now. Here's the seeds. So we are swathing this. We're gonna let it dry a couple days and then we will be harvesting it. After we get it picked up with a combine, then we get it into the debuter, which beats it up and actually separates the seed from the rest of it, and then we can clean it, send it through that cleaner that you've seen on some of the other videos. Here comes Carol, that lucky dog. Gets to be outside all day. So this is what it looks like. You can see both sides haven't been swathed, but right here in the middle it kind of puts it in a nice row so it can be harvested later on. Placed right in a nice row. This field was actually planted in May of 2020. So it was just 2 seasons and we've got a full production field. When we planted it, you can kind of see there are rows of it being planted, and in these rows, you've got this black tarp that's still left over. It's biodegradable, but the reason that's there is so when we plant it, we put the black tarp and then we put small plugs of the plants into the black tarp, and under the black tarp there's actually a drip tape, and we can hook it up. We can irrigate the whole field that way. It is a lot of work for setup, but well worth the production. It is one of the reasons that wildflowers are so expensive, is not only do some wildflowers have to be hand-picked, they have to be planted really carefully. You can't just stick it in the ground and expect it to come up. You've got to really baby it. You got some clogged in there? You want some help? Just some mare's tail, every farmer's best friend. As you can see, these pull it into the middle and creates a row. And that's how we get a nice tight row when it pulls through here. Man, just a couple 100 pounds of mare's tail hanging out. Too bad mare's tail isn't a farmable plant. We'd make a lot of money. You might be wondering why there is so much mare's tail in this. I talked about this with our swamp milkweed, but most of our forbs can't be sprayed. So we've got a couple of options on getting rid of the weeds. If the weeds are a lot taller than the forbs, we can brush them with a roller. You put Roundup on it and then it rolls it kind of like a paintbrush, and since it's taller, it can go over that way. Or we can go in with a hoe. We also, if our forbs are in nice rows, which these are, we can spray just the in between the rows. We've got a sprayer that contains it in between the row, and when you do that, you kill everything in between the rows. So you're going to be killing mare's tail that would come up, but all of this mare's tail is in the rows of the sweet black-eyed Susan. So there is not much we could do about it without going in and hoeing it by hand. And we can actually clean out mare's tail seed from sweet black-eyed Susan. The seed's not similar enough at all to actually get mixed in when it's finished cleaning, so we'll just clean it on out. This is all windrowed. This is not. This old geezer is how we how we transport the windrower. It actually used to be how we transported the tractors that we would use to plant, and we'd put the drills right here, but the drills, they're really too big to be having on the road. They're 10.5 foot, and we started planting further and further away from home, so we needed to get a better plan. Here's that machine I was telling you earlier, the in-between row sprayer. The hoses feed right into here, into this bad boy, and it sprays down and it contains it on either side. Another difference between just planting 2 species like bean and corns as opposed to the 42 that we do here at Hoxton Native Seeds is you have to have a way to get to every single field. With corn and soybean, you need a way to get into that field, and then you can plant and harvest that field from that one entrance. Well, since we have dozens of different plots of different species, and some of them are 50 acres and some of them are 1/4 of an acre, we have to be able to get into every single one of those fields. So we actually dedicate a lot of land to just pathways. This is our little entrance for this field, just going through the ditch. I had to help with some office stuff. Got a bunch of fun little phone calls, but came back out here. Carol's now harvesting the Big Bluestem. This Big Bluestem was just harvested this Saturday, pre-cleaned. Feels really nice. It looks really nice. Only thing is, it's about half of what we got out of that field last year. Carol doesn't actually believe it's because of how dry it is. He thinks that the root systems are really set and they've got kind of lazy. So we might actually till some of that up so that the roots kind of freak out and they start producing more seed again. We've had to do it in the past and it might be time. There's Carol out in the field. We had some pretty good hopes for this Big Bluestem, but it's also not looking as good as we thought. But you know what is looking good is we've got a lot of round-headed bush clover in this field. And we are actually, after we harvest the Big Bluestem, we're gonna try and harvest this round-headed bush clover and see how it goes. Look at this. All right, I'm gonna try and jump in the combine with Carol. How's harvesting going for you?
All right. Slow going, but we're gaining.
The old cleaner L3.
Dirty.
How do you plan on harvesting that?
I sit out here and I think about it, trying to harvest it. It seems like a waste. It's quite thick in areas where the prairie's not thick. Just looking for a return on the money on the ground and rent here.
Yeah, I definitely think you should harvest less of these, so there's a ton of it. Back to my truck.